Ife was the oldest of cities, and for a generation it had not known a single quiet season. Out of the forest they came, without warning, always at dusk. Tall shapes wrapped head to foot in dried raffia, faceless, soundless, moving like nothing human moves. They took grain, they took cattle, they took whoever could not run fast enough. And every time Ife sent its warriors against them, the warriors came home broken, or did not come home at all. The people of Ife came to believe what the raiders wanted them to believe,
The ancient spirits are watching us tonight.
that these were not men at all, but forest spirits no blade could touch.
The ancient spirits are watching us.
In the palace of Ife lived a woman named Moremi, wife to the king. And she did not believe in spirits. She had walked the streets after every raid. She had counted the empty houses. And once, in the wreckage, she had found a single torn piece of dried raffia. And raffia, she knew, does not grow on spirits. She went to the river spirit, Esimirin, who was said to grant any request, for a price to be named later. "Help me end this," she said, "and I will give you whatever you ask."
For the freedom of my people. Let the light guide us.
The water went still, then moved, though there was no wind. It was, everyone agreed afterward, a yes. Moremi did not tell the king her plan. She knew he would refuse it. On the night of the next raid, Moremi did not run. She stood in the open, in the firelight, where they could not fail to see her. And they took her, as she had known they would. They led her deep into the forest, further than any scout from Ife had ever returned from. And there, past the tree line, she found the truth. They were men, ordinary men, from a rival kingdom to the east, who had learned that a costume of dried grass and a silence held together was more frightening than any weapon. She was beautiful, and she was calm, and within days, the chief of the raiders had taken her as his own wife. It was the position she had wanted. Nobody questions what a chief's wife happens to see. She watched them dress. She watched them practice the silent walk that made grown warriors flee. She learned every piece of it. Months passed. She waited and watched and said nothing of Ife. And one night, watching a spark drift too close to a hanging costume and die in the dirt before it caught, she understood exactly what she needed to know. Dried grass, head to foot. It was not armor at all. She waited for a moonless night, and then she ran. She ran through the whole of the night and into the grey of morning, not stopping, not once looking back. When the walls of Ife finally rose ahead of her, she fell to her knees in the open field and wept. They had thought her dead. The whole city came to the gate to see if it was true. She stood before the king and the elders and told them everything.
Let not your hearts be troubled.
What she had seen, what the raiders were, and exactly how to end them. They are men, she said, dressed in dry grass. You do not need spears, you need fire. When the raiders came again, Ife was ready for the first time in a generation. The tall shapes came out of the forest as they always had, silent and certain. And this time, the warriors of Ife did not run. They threw fire. Dried grass does not resist fire. It welcomes it. One by one, the spirits of the forest caught fire and screamed like the men they had always been. What was left of them fled back into the forest and never came out of it again. Ife stood in the smoke of the thing that had terrorized it for a generation and understood, all at once, how simple the answer had always been. The city celebrated for 3 days. Moremi was named Savior of Ife. But Moremi did not celebrate. She had not forgotten the river. She had promised Esimerin whatever the river spirit asked, and the river had not yet asked. Name it, she said to the water. I have not forgotten what I owe. And the river spoke, in the way rivers speak, and what it asked for was her only son. She had saved a city of thousands. The price was the one child she had. She could have refused. Ife would never have known the difference. But a promise made to save a city, she believed, was not a promise a city should ever learn had been broken. So, at dawn, she took her son by the hand and walked him to the water. What passed between the mother and the river that morning belongs to her alone. Nobody ever asked her to speak of it, and she never did. She walked back into Ife alone and told no one what the river had taken, only that the debt was paid. Ife never suffered another raid. The forest that had once held terror held only forest. And for generations after, the mothers of Ife told their children of the queen who walked into the forest afraid of nothing and came home changed by everything. They still honor her name in that city, not for the fire, for what came after it. Because it is easy to be brave when bravery costs you nothing. Moremi's courage cost her everything she had, and she paid it without being asked twice. That is the story of Moremi of Ife. Not every story a spider tells is his own.